fragrance. So rose scented fragrance. Is that unlive me? Actually. All right. Ready for another? You better be ready for these comments. Ready for another show. Let's go. All right. And we are back. Yes, we are. Happy New Year. Woo-hoo! 2023 in the building. Finally. Did it seem like it took a long time for this year? I think it went the regular pace. I think it took long. It sped through the beginning. All of 2022 felt like a blur. December felt like the longest month. December did feel long. But only after the 15th. Do that make sense? It felt like December came, then it was dragging, then it was like the 15th, and then boom, Christmas. Well, December seemed like it was long, but either way, happy to have the welcome in the new year, and just excited. Got a lot of plans going on and things lining up for 2023, and looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it. Yes, y'all. We're about to get started. Are you guys ready? Are you ready to throw down? Yes. Yes. So this is actually a newer venture that we're diving into tonight. We're embarking on a journey to celebrate some of our, and I won't say unsung because we know them. They've been, commemorated before, but probably just not enough for, what they've done for the industry that they were in and for the culture, for Black people, African Americans as a whole. So we're getting started on our new venture, and we're calling this Legends of Longevity. Tonight we're going to be doing Pam Grier, and I started with her because she, without sometimes even having work in Hollywood, without being booked, is a formidable topic. She's someone who is consistently, even to this day, brought up in a conversation, and that's whether you're talking about like Foxy Brown, if you're, when you're referring to women of color, sexiness, power, a little bit domineering, you tend to kind of divert to Pam Grier. So we want to give a shout out to her. Whoop whoop for literally being around since like would be the 70s, right? I don't want to be off. 70s, yeah, 70s, maybe longer. Up until the 2000s, I believe. She recently was in a series not too long ago. So she has had an extensive career. She's known as an actress, especially in a time where there weren't a whole lot of, main characters as Black women as the main character. She's a symbol of beauty as well as a body positive icon. And that's from, even back in the day when people weren't, mention about body positivity as much as you hear them talk about it now. Well, I would just say, if you look at the pictures that we have selected of her, even though she's in a bikini in one post and in a a full body suit in the other post, she looks respectable. And it always gave sexy, but it was very classy to me with Pam Grier. Yeah. And like, she's known for maybe not always, she seems like team no bra, especially back in the day to me. Did you say team no bra? a lot of pictures. If you start to really Google, and if you go down the rabbit hole, you find Pam Grier. Sometimes she didn't. She looked like she was team no bra back in the day.
Okay. Well, the pictures that we have, she definitely has on a bra.
Not in that bikini one, and not in the
well, she's in a bikini though.
Even if you look at the rare photos, like you're gonna see her in like tank top, no bra.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I'm glad
it matters because we're talking about body positivity, and we're talking about a place where not everyone agrees with it, but team no bra is a thing of right now. And I won't say 2022 or 2023 because I've been seeing it happen over time for a while.
I have seen team no bra, and I will tell you that team no bra needs to go purchase bras.
Team no bra, I'm not telling you that. Team no bra,
I'm saying it
team do you.
I've seen some people that are on the team that need to get off.
Well, I'm team no bra, and I'm okay. How do I say? There is a time and a place. What's going on? There's a time and a place for everything. And even for me, while I feel like mine are still good, every outfit, doesn't allow that. But like I said, for the most part, team no bra when it comes to body positivity, it's a thing.
Well, like I said, no, don't get me wrong. Some people can do it. Some people can't. And the ones who cannot need to just own up and accept the fact that they cannot be on the team.
Things like that are in the eye of the beholder. So it is one of those things where it's like, it definitely depends on the person. But we are talking about Pam Grier.
Okay. Well,
and Legends of Longevity.
Yeah, let's focus.
So yes, we'll reel it back in. So she's had various roles such as Friday Foster and Jack Hill. She's been Jack Hill's Coffee, and she has been in other titles along her 30-year career. I can't remember, and I guess I forgot to write it down, but she was recently in a sitcom. I'm not sure if it was a sitcom or more like a series recently in her most recent years. I think it was like 2010-ish.
I'm not really sure. We want to welcome everybody who is chiming into the podcast this evening.
Okay, Shantae.
And want to remind you that this is a live podcast, an interactive podcast. Our comment section is open, so if you want to jump into the conversation, please.
And speak freely. If you're watching this and if you've seen it already, there will be some, differences in opinion.
That's a nice way to put it.
And we're here for all of it. On one of my posts, I just posted, bring love, bring smoke. Just
bring love,
just
bring
be
smoke.
there.
Oh, that's a good way to
be
say
there.
it. And we want to remind everybody to subscribe to this channel so we can continue to bring you informative topics worth talking about, worth debating. Worth hearing.
So again, we already spoke on it, often referenced for her vivacious curves. Pam's career and longevity doesn't go unnoticed. She is a true maverick and a pioneer in Black film. So shout out to Pam Grier. Shout out to your contribution to the culture, to actresses of color,
to team. What's the name of it?
No bra.
Team to no bra.
And yes, and y'all hit us up and let us know if you team bra or team no bra.
All right, my team bras represent.
Team no bra, come through.
Team bras represent, please.
Woo woo. So I feel good about Legends of Longevity. As we go on, y'all already know this is our first shot at it. So I will be digging deep and looking for more people. If you guys have suggestions of people who you'd like to see just mentioned, highlighted more, if you're not understanding why they aren't an EGOT winner, or if they don't have, the not recommendations, but they haven't been acknowledged properly, shoot us a DM. Let us know how you feel. Write it in the comments while you're on here with us now.
Can I call out Legends of Longevity, or I have to wait?
No. You can call it out now.
So I would definitely call out Diana Ross as a true legend of longevity. Been grinding from the get-go holding it down now, is still working, bringing her children on stage.
Yeah.
Still has elegance, has class, and really hasn't been in the
Negative
limelight.
side
Yeah,
of the
the negative limelight
public
or
eye.
whatever. But yeah, definitely Diana Ross, the boss.
Yes.
Miss Ross, the boss is
Oh, that's a good one. So that's what we're looking for. We want
Yeah.
y'all to let us know who you think is a legend of longevity. And longevity, we know that does incorporate time, but longevity can also refer to someone who you see with that longevity type of, aura around them as well. We'll, check it out and, dissect it. But yeah, let us know. We're going to move along, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us so far. We are moving on to, and we're still in our feel good topics, moving on to handling difficult situations.
Yeah, and this is kind of a touchy subject because I think the world kind of, well, I don't know if we should say the world, but many people in the industry, entertainment industry, mourn the passing recently of Twitch from Ellen show.
And it felt like a shocker.
Well, it definitely was. It wasn't expected. And then just the way that he transitioned, or I don't know if you could say transition, but the loss of life was by suicide. What reports are saying now makes it even more so traumatic.
Yeah.
And so, as it relates to our topic, difficult situations.
Yes.
And how do you determine if that difficulty is actually depression or just anxiety? We do have up on the screen now a comparison side by side that indicates known common symptoms of the two, and it'll be interesting to know which ones we've recognized, which ones we've seen, within our own circles. And definitely, are we at the place where we're still taking these signs lightly, or as real indicators of a problem?
And I think it's safe to say that with the onset and the uprise of Google and that Googling of ailments and different type of what's the word for like when you're trying to symptoms, when you Googling the symptoms, if you feel like, oh, I'm having a rough day, you go Google. I'm going to highly suggest that while you do that, to kind of get yourself in a space of what you might be dealing with, we will say make sure you are seeking professional help if you find that you are, feeling like you're self-diagnosing and you're not sure and you want to be more sure so that you know how to move forward.
Yeah.
One of the things when we're talking about difficult situations, we want to talk about how to handle them and how we're handling them. And I think recently it's showing, or it seems that people are having a struggle with dealing with the difficult situations. And
well, I just wanted to chime in and say, it's always been an issue within the Black community that we didn't talk about things that were depressing or things that were of a struggle. We definitely didn't seek help for it, or maybe I should say we did talk about it, but we didn't seek help for it. I think there are definitely more people nowadays that are seeking professional help for things that are connected to depression or anxiety, more so than in the past. Like our grandparents, I don't think ever did that, but definitely we should be doing it more and more and more, and having the discussions so that we're not internalizing things that are identified as symptoms.
And even with some of the just the feeling of, I don't know, or the reaction to difficult situations now just seems so extreme versus like a gradual thought process happening. And I would encourage people to take that a moment to kind of be in a self-reflective space. I know some of the words that we tend to use them a lot, but these are where this is where we're headed. We're talking about self-talk. We're talking about, self-analyzing. And I think if you're not qualified to, sometimes you can overanalyze yourself. And I think you put more anxiety on yourself.
Absolutely.
If you don't know what you don't know for sure, and now you got to worry about how to move forward and what can you do. And sometimes you might not even be asking, yourself the right questions or the questions that are going to get you, where you need to be.
Yeah. And I do know that there are certain groups that seem to have more occurrences of things like depression and anxiety and definitely suicide. Veterans, unfortunately, being one of them. Servicemen, police officers,
And
being one.
And that's something to say because these are people that are in service and, and have been in service to the public. So to kind of think about when you do mention of veterans, and, some police officers, some of them have mental issues from their daily jobs. And so how do I say, this might have just given me more sensitivity than I probably ever thought to have towards like police officers and stuff, because that's a lot of stress, that's a lot of pressure, most from one job.
I have a girlfriend, Jennifer, and she's in the Carolinas, and she said to me something that I had never thought of, but I thought it was such a good idea, that she thought that officers should have a mandatory sabbatical to step away, not only to just regroup and to gather themselves, but to also take, what was it she called? It was just some kind of course so that they can not be desensitized towards their community.
Yeah, and recharge too, and re-energize. A lot of people, in sales, we don't, how do I say, regular or associates may not pay attention, but that store meeting sometimes, that holiday Christmas party sometimes, that's a re-energizing. They don't just do that haphazardly. Most store people would not think of that. That's something that comes down, from the top. People know that you have to re-energize them. It's a reason why they do that store meeting whenever their holidays coming or whenever something switches, because they need to recharge you. So it's funny that people, in a job like that, would not have, that time,
to regroup.
Yeah.
I always think that you need to recharge. I mean, take a mom just gathering herself for the weekend. And hey, Charles Andrews, Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us tonight. A mom taking a weekend, and dad picking up the kids, or, taking them to the grandparents' house so that you can have a bubble bath or a spa day goes a long way. I just think that the more you internalize depression, anxiety, stress, it's going to materialize in a negative way.
Yeah. So you guys know how it is. If we're talking about something that might not be that upbeat, we definitely have solutions for you guys. So real quick, on handling difficult situations, there are a couple things that we can kind of do for ourselves. So we can, one, learn to communicate better. That's something that I think helps, with difficult situations, whether it's a fight at work or at home amongst family, whether or not you come across something and you don't necessarily know what to do with it. You find yourself in a place you've never been. Find somebody to talk to if it gets that that far.
Fight at work? A fist fight?
No, but like an argument or a disagreement.
Okay.
And when it gets so bad that you're thinking about, quitting, a lot of people, and that's what I mean about handling difficult situations. Because a lot of people back in our day, in my day, when you beef or you have something at work, that's not something that you normally take home with you. I beefed at work heavy, customers and management alike. I do not lose sleep at night about customers or things like that that's happening at work. But some people have, some people struggle with that to these days. So learn to communicate. A part of that, how to deal, is actively listen. It doesn't do any good to have the conversation if we're not going to listen. And it's something that I work on. In most of my relationships, people say, you're not listening. And they're right. Because I know I'm not an active listener. I am listening to respond. Because I got a thought.
Okay.
So, that's something that we need to, be aware of. Listen. You want to listen. You want to not just hear to, think about what you're going to say. Listen to what the person is saying.
Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Say it to me. Psych. You like I have review options. So think about different ways to get out, of the situation that you're in. One thing that came, and we're just going to move this along to find the solutions. One thing that came back was focus on things that are within your control. So it's just like that prayer people say, Lord, give me the serenity to accept the things I can and the wisdom,
to change the things that,
you want to know what you can control, know where you are in a situation, and know your role in a situation. Who are you? Are you the villain? Some people not, some people don't know. You might be the villain.
The cause, the roots.
Okay, and then another one says to prioritize relationships. And I think that's a new thing that people are doing a lot now. You hear talk of new friends, you used to hear talk of no new friends, and now you're hearing talk of people talking of expanding, for looking for like-minded individuals. That's a thing to do, y'all. And it's not always so wrong. If you're not leaving, your past relationships and, friendships in disarray, and you're just looking for people that are more like you, I don't find a problem with that. I guess it's all in how you do it. So it says to prioritize relationship. Do these people still need to be around? Are they effective in where you're going in your life?
And I think that you need to have a mix.
Mixed friend. You can have a mixed group of friends. Yes.
I was in a need I had a need just the other day for a conversation with a higher level of intelligence, if that makes sense. I needed to speak to somebody to get some advice, and so I have a certain group of friends who I call on for those types of conversations.
Yep.
And I made it happen. I made a call and I was like, I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
And they were able to fill me and give me good wisdom and suggestions, and just keep it moving. And I'm grateful, because just think, if I didn't have that opportunity, I would still be here dealing with the stress of the situation.
There's something to be said for that. That's another trending topic that you're going to see. And it's basically, they're saying you don't want to be the smartest person in the room.
No,
all the time. You don't want that. You want to be where you can learn, where you can grow, where you can impart your knowledge, amongst people, and it be receptive, because not everybody accepts, wisdom from different people. We're moving on through this difficult situations, and the last ones was moving forward. So they said to move on and to kind of get out of those. They mentioned finding where it hurts, and that stuck out to me, because it might be something that everyone is, that you haven't looked at in a deeper kind of way, but it hit me deeply, like, because that's asking me, where am I in this situation? What was done, So that was good. They had take back control, and finding peace and acceptance. And I don't know if you're gonna find them in that order or the opposite order. In order to accept, or to have peace, you might have to accept some things that you might not all the way be comfortable with.
Well, I think a big part of it is people really have to learn forgiveness. I mean, we hold on to so much that really we can let go. And you hear it all the time. Forgiveness is more for you than the other person.
And it's the truth.
It is 100% the truth. I mean, some people say, you ever heard people say, I don't even remember why we're mad? Then that lets you know it's probably stupid.
Yeah.
It's time to forgive and keep moving on. So practice forgiveness, practice gratefulness.
Yes.
And I think that you'll find yourself in a better position afterwards.
Yes. All right, guys. That one was a push through.
Awesome. Charles says, standing out always. Oh, he's okay. All right, Charles. We hear you. Charles in charge.
Charles in charge.
Awesome. So we're keeping it moving.
Yes, and we're moving on to our not feeling it topics of the day. So we just pushed through our feel goods. Now we're moving into the not feeling it topics. These are topics that, they come about, and between one of us or the two of us, we're not feeling it. And tonight, I'm not feeling the lack of morals, the different it's just a disdain for doing the right thing that's happening right now. And so we're going to try to work through that. We're going to try to, with you guys today, prepare a list. I'm going to borrow you a pen.
We're going to take a quick break before we jump into that.
Let me see if that's in my let me see if that's in my schedule.
Grab your pen and paper, and we'll see you in just a couple of seconds.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'll make you move like your boots are on fire. I'll make you jump like you touch a live wire. Clap your hands, just clap them for me. Give them a clap. Like 1, 2, 3. Clap your hands, just clap them for me. Give them a clap. Like 1, 2, 3.
Okay, shout out to Friends Organic Body Care. FOB, okay.
F.
Put the 3 up. Put the
3 O
B. Yes, FOB. Make sure y'all throwing up y'all set. You walking past a Dove stand. He got Dove on the quarter. Throw up that FOB.
What you doing with that Dove?
What you doing with that Dove? We're going to have to get this thing together.
That is hilarious.
Okay, guys. So we're moving on and we're creating our morality list. Where my band?
Oh, Charles is coming in with a
yes, forgive and forget.
Right.
Yes.
Charles, so good. Forgive and don't forget.
Oh, I ain't see that. You wanted something. We can stay there.
Well, listen. If you forgive, well,
because see, you want to forgive and don't forget so that you won't forget where they had you messed up.
Well, someone just said to me, if you remember, have you truly forgiven the person?
I think you can. I think
because how can you forget?
Yeah, you don't want to move and
like I forgive the dogs for biting me.
Your dog can't come over no more, baby.
No, Charles said, I think that's right.
Yes, we are in agreement with Charles. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, good one there, Charles.
Yes, and y'all feel free to say something too. Don't let the YouTube watchers
All right, so next topic in hand. Let's keep it moving. We are on to what?
Hold on. Identifying morals. We're gonna work together and we're gonna build us a list of morality concepts that we can kind of keep in our brain.
Okay. This is a good collection.
And if you're an affirmations person, then you can get into this as well.
Well, let me tell you about affirmations. I listen to affirmations almost nightly. And I will tell you, I get the best sleep. I have this little sleep headband that has speakers built into them. So it darkens my eyes out. So I'm really getting a dark room. And then I have the speakers playing like, you are this, you are blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I am. Yes, I am. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. And then I get up in the morning and I repeat those things because I'm trying to feed my subconscious mind. And so, I sleep with affirmations every night.
And so, guys, feel free to chime in. We're wanting to know from you, what is an idea, a thought, or concept that we can include in our list of morals and values to live by. This is a I want it to be cohesive. I want to have space for everyone, for diversity. But at the same time, there are just some things that humanity requires from us. One of the things that I think, and you kind of hear about it all the time.
Charles is saying, where did we get that from? Charles,
get what?
Get what? Be more specific, Mr.
Oh,
Charles.
He could have been talking about the forgive and don't forget.
I don't know, because we moved on for that. But he said, where did we get that from? Let us know what you're talking about.
Remind us, Charles, what we said.
But we have a pretty good the mask. He's talking about my the
sleep mask. I was thinking the same thing, Charles. Like what?
I'm not getting paid
What do you
for
gotta-
this recommendation.
This is how we get paid. We gotta tell them.
So it is the sleep band.
Okay.
Charles, it's called the sleep band, and I got it off of Amazon.
Listen, Amazon and hashtag sleep bag. You want this promo? Then you better get what you know.
Yeah.
FOB.
But
Good
it's the
job,
sleep
Charles.
band. I wish I had it here, but it's a black thick one, and it just kind of velcros behind the head, and it has speakers inside. I'm telling you, actually, Charles, be careful, because I had to stop wearing it for about a week or so because I was oversleeping. That's how much.
Wow.
That's how much sleep
I can believe it.
I slept. When they said REM sleep. Thank you. I need that. You will
Yes,
love it.
hashtag
But
sleep
if you
bags.
wake up and you're late for work, don't blame me.
Yes,
Okay. But
we gotta get that disclaimer. That we
that's
are not liable.
Yes, I think that you will love it. It's the sleep band. Yeah, the sleep band is what that was. Okay, back to our schedule.
Okay, so on our list of morality,
and we have a good list.
Yes,
here.
this is good here, but we can pull some things from there. So the first thing that I'm going to start with for me is honesty, and I think that we all understand what it means to tell the truth.
Yeah,
different things like that. What I'm saying towards honesty is to also be honest to yourself about who you are. I think a lot of the times there is this new wave of, I don't know if it's wave riding, that y'all riding a wave of wave riding. That's crazy.
riding the wave of wave riding.
You want to be your own person. You don't want to dim down the things that make you unique. And I think a portion of being honest with yourself about who you are and coming out and sharing that with others helps you to kind of create the different type of space that you want in your, around you.
Yeah.
A lot of people have, and I say this because these things be very real, but a lot of people have always been to me, oh, you could be making so much money, you could be here, you could be there. Could I be happy? Because let me tell you, I'm a difficult person when it comes to work. If the ergonomics ain't right, if I feel away, I don't got the same feeling of having to stay at a job as some people do. So I'll leave, but I've been happy enough to be in a type of career where I do well, which keeps me honest to myself. I get to be me at work without having to dim my light, a lot. Every now and then I do have to maybe check myself because of comfortability. But outside of that, I don't have to move outside of myself to make it happen at work. And I actually, appreciate that for me. And that's just one area, but being honest, just kind of puts you in the path, when you talk about yourself, of who you want to be around.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
If you're faking it, I feel like you attract that same type of energy.
Yeah, and so we're talking about morals and morality, and this is again a great list of just several that have been combined by whomever. But we thought it was a great representation of some things that people can truly that would resonate with them and people can respond to. So whether you said integrity,
well, honesty,
or honesty, and that's a really, really great one. I would definitely support that. If I had to pick,
and we could elaborate with integrity though on the honesty, because integrity is kind of what you do when you're not around people, right?
Yes,
and when your conscience is being and your character is being questioned. So we can dive into integrity.
Well, yeah. Integrity is most relevant when you are, when you're, I guess, so low.
When the situations arise and when you're put in those,
when you're not under the microscope,
and when
are you going to give that cashier back them two?
Listen, me and people debate with me about this type of thing, and I'm just like, listen. If that is along the lines of okayness in your book of morality. I ain't arguing with you, but you ain't gonna make me feel like I'm crazy for thinking differently. And a lot of times people don't believe me, but I am, and I don't know that I'm there yet, but I am hoping to one day be so into doing the right thing and not being weird about it. But I want to see that $20 bill on the ground with nobody there, and because it's not mine, I leave it. Now whether I say let it bless somebody else or whatever it is, there I've read different things, and that concept came out in one thing that I was reading, and it made sense to people. Love to be like, oh, that's a blessing, girl. That could be a blessing. Is it mine?
I hear you, and I think I understand what you're saying. I do think, if it's money outside on the street and there's nobody in the vicinity, I'm going to pick up the money. But if I find money and I see somebody looking around, I am going to go to them and say, hey, did you lose something? I see you looking. And I'll give it back to them, but it just feels good. The practice of integrity is a good feeling. It just is a good feeling. I wasn't always there in my younger days. I've had sticky fingers before. I've told things that were not exactly the truth, but as I've matured, my desire for integrity has kind of grown on me and matured with me, and it just feels much, much better.
Okay.
So I do love to walk in integrity.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yes.
So y'all not saying nothing to me. Let me see if I could go online and look to see if I get some answers from there. I'm gonna check your people too. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do let's round it out at about 6. So we're at 2 now.
Okay.
Right?
Well, I think we both said integrity.
Yeah.
And so principles would be another. I'm just pulling from the list there. I think that if you don't, well, good Lord, if you don't have any principles, what are you living by?
Okay.
And so I think that that is something that I see missing in today's generation. They don't have a lot of principles. They don't have any morals. I would say this: they don't have a lot of morals that they exercise. I don't see it, or I should say positive morals. So I think that a good part of that, a big part of that is having
if we dig down
principles
too, into how do I say the definition of morals, because I think sometimes when we hear those terms, because we've been hearing them forever, they tend to take on different meanings to different people. So in the 2 versions I see, it says a lesson, especially one concerning what is right or prudent. It can be derived. So like Aesop's tales. Remember that when the tales, like the spider and the lion. You don't remember Aesop? AESOP, and they was all in the school books.
Sorry.
What in the world? Anyway, so like a fable. I can't believe you.
I know.
Now, maybe I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but I doubt it. And then the second definition is a person's standard of behaviors and belief concerning what is acceptable and what is not.
Thank you, everybody who's joining us on
welcome.
the Instagram. Thank you. Feel free to chime in. We do have a comment coming in here.
Okay.
Oh, I like that. Okay, Charles is saying responsibility and listen.
And we're gonna separate them too.
Listen, Linda. Responsibility and respect. Isn't that what's missing?
I think a lot of the times it's like there isn't that, and they've got a new feeling towards respect as a whole in this new society, that you have to earn it. And while I think there is something to be said about that, respect as a human being should just be like second nature to you. When I'm walking down the street and I can clearly see we're about to cross paths, it takes nothing for me, to just move to the side.
Right.
It happened earlier when I was coming here, had to walk down that little strip, and the lady had she's pushing a stroller. why wouldn't I, seeing her coming, seeing the stroller, seeing the baby, what would make me be like, she better move? It's just little things that I think people are not,
Well, we have another response for another person watching tonight. When I think of morals, I think of what is acceptable in the eyes of the Creator.
Oh, okay.
Listen,
Yes.
bring it. And how about that? So when we removed, the Bible and the reverence of our God and or your Creator, however you title it, I say God. When we removed God from school, isn't that what started the lack of principles and exercising morals?
I mean, I think that was coming too from the home as well.
Mhm.
That there has been, and I think what people have to do when it comes to religion is pull from, where it meets you at. Not everyone has adapted to certain, different. I don't know. It's just like the way I feel about looking at, if we look at Christianity, not everybody can decipher through all the different denominations and all the different different things that people are saying. That's why there are multiple different ones, like how do I say, even it seems like Muslim and Christians, they have a little sameness that I don't think that they speak on enough, because it seems like it's always such a divide amongst
Well, I
the
think
two.
there's division in anything. I just think that when it was in school, school is a public place. It kind of set a foundation of how to exercise your morals in public. So if you weren't getting it from home, then you had a platform in school that provided it for you. So you weren't wilding out. Now the children have nothing and they're crazy.
I don't know. I guess for me, a person
Charles,
who
are the
is
children crazy?
I listen, as a part of the I don't know, the beginning of the crazy generations, I myself included. I can say that I didn't have, or I had at home, things that I could and couldn't do, and I knew right from wrong. I was taught those things, but that says nothing about the fact when I left the house, what I do when I'm gone. Now, granted, I do believe having morals and things like that keep you from expressing yourself or expanding or going too far.
Wilding out.
Yeah, you still wild out, but there is some things that even you stop, like, you know what?
That ain't right.
I can't do that.
Because
It's
you know
been
better.
It's
Because
been times
your
I've been wanting
principles.
to do certain things as a child, and your brain say, it sound good. It sound like you could get away with it, or even if you don't, it sound good, but you don't want to cross that boundary. So I think it's a more at home thing, because I still always think that parents give school way too much credit for like that disciplinary action type of part of it. Because if you think about school, sometimes the teacher, it just depends on the levels, of where you are and the different, who is in those areas where you're, when you talk about school. Because I grew up in an area, and I would say in high school, there was a mix of good and bad teachers. And I'm just telling you from my personal experience.
God in the classrooms?
No, this is in my day. So
that's what I'm saying.
2004.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't. I don't believe that y'all just ain't do nothing in school. So I mean, no one's going to say that.
We were children. Of course, we did something, but it was a limit. Like you're saying, there were some things that you weren't do. We had a limit, and that bar was high because we had God in school. And God, and then when we went home, most of us had God at home. And I think when you start to chip away at those morals, those principles, that foundation,
but I don't know that everybody's pushing religion with morals, if that can make that make sense. Some people don't go to church and probably have high morals.
Well, that's true. Some people don't. But I'm just saying, as an example, I think that it was more prevalent. It was more it existed more when we had God in school.
And I guess people think that too about beating beatings in school too. People
Yeah,
feel
we got
like
we got whippings. We got whippings too in school.
see, I think
All
that's
of that
too
helps.
much in school.
All of that helps.
I think that's too much.
No.
We got this whole responsibility because I think those were good, Charles, and we, you got us all riled up, so we don't want to lose what you were mentioning, because I think responsibility is another one, and along with responsibility, I think we can just go ahead and include my favorite word, accountability.
Well, accountability is good, but I just think that you have to have some kind of moral, some kind of principles to go by. Everybody who has chimed in recently,
we the 80 baby took things to the street. Listen, and now we
took things to the
how do I say? I don't think we took it to the extremes of these new kids, but
what was that? Yeah,
back in that, and see that's
speak on it. It became okay. Why? Because you didn't have morals to go against it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't
with
have
the music.
Yeah. Listen, this is real talk. Programming. So now you remove God, you bring in this crazy music, and now everybody's shooting and crazy.
But the music has always been dangerous.
No, it
y'all
has
say
not.
That. Y'all
we
say
had
that.
Luther, we had Tina Marie.
But you're talking about one type of music. There was rock and roll back in the day,
Who
which
was listening to it?
Miss Fred, we are a diversity podcast.
Yeah, but I'm just saying we wasn't
everybody
listen, no. But now you don't have people don't even sing about love anymore. Do you know how detrimental that is to a body of people? People had babies, you had romance, you had love, you had intense feelings. Now all you're feeling is hate and anger and trying to rob and get money. That is it. And shade. Y'all better come
think music has played some role, but I think people I think that when it comes to movies and music and things like that, people are literally imitating life. For some people, they are just telling what their everyday look like, or similar situations. To some people are probably elaborate.
You need a balance of it. You just need a balance. There's too much negativity fueling our society.
Yeah.
And because you don't have that, and that's why you have these children wilding out, going in schools, shooting up the whole school. I mean, what kind of morals did he have?
Well, see, it's been a lot of people that's done that, and that's happened. That's been happening for a long time. So I think we can get one more with the morals. We'll be at 6.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let's pop up our list.
Look at that little.
Okay.
If we're gonna pick something good, it's standing out to me. Tell me if it's standing out to you. All right, I pointed it out, y'all.
Communication.
No.
Oh, standards. Okay. What are your standards?
One of my main standards, and one of the things that I've set for myself is a totally self type of thing.
Okay.
So a standard for myself is to not allow another person to kind of not even dominate me, but like
disrespect you.
Yeah, or make me feel crazy, especially when I'm in a place of self-assurance. And I think a lot of times things like that happen when you aren't all the way confident in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, there is like a I don't know, just a certain level that I don't even allow myself when I'm in love to kind of, you can't do certain things to me. So to not let nobody play with me is a standard of mine.
Well, I think definitely one of my standards is respect. You're going to have to give it. Because I give it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's real talk. Come through with it.
And I think that's the late 90s too.
Listen, it's real talk. But respect is a big standard of mine. I give respect, so I expect it to be reciprocated to me. I'm not down with the whole nobody calling me, hey B, where my B. You ain't talking. Who you talking to? You ain't talking to me because my name is Fran.
Because my name is Fran.
And you don't address me that way because none of my, I would say, friends, not really associates too, acquaintances, nobody talks like that. So that means you have to teach people how to treat you.
And that's a real thing.
And if they try to slip and slide some negative or something that's not your standard, you better have your standards ready to get them in line. And that's one of mine. You respect. RESPECT. Find out what it means to me. Yes, indeed.
All right. So if you can, Domo girl, we'll take a morality ideal from you. You can just drop it in there. If we see it, because I think that is actually a good one too. A lot of, while I don't play video games and I don't think I let music, control what my reality is. I might not have the same thought process, but I do know that there's a lot of talk about the video games and just their push for violence or the tone of violence.
I mean, what happened to Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Galaxy, Blip?
We want some excitement.
You gotta be killing people in the blood and the gore. I mean, and that's a game. What kind of programming are you inhaling when it's a game to kill people and for them to explode, or you to ride through a neighborhood in an RV and ride over somebody? I'm telling you, people you're not realizing, if you can listen to a love song, right, and feel love and want to hug and want to be close to someone, why can't you understand that when you play video games, negative ones anyway, listen to negative music, that you're not going to feel the same negativity from the music? It's the same thing. I don't understand why people just don't get that.
You got to be well-rounded. So I can go from
you got to have some
I can go from DMX to Kirk Franklin. And I'm just telling you what it is. And don't let me get in the mood where I start off with Kirk Franklin. No telling where I'm going to end up, because Kirk get me right. And I be ready. Oh, he got me ready to go outside now, so I got to switch up my music. So I do think, that those are some things on the morality check. We got a good list, y'all. So we're going to run them down. Y'all can, define, look these up, and do these. Okay, loyalty.
Number one.
Listen, not y'all really
Number one.
Y'all keep on. We're gonna put it on a t-shirt.
Number one.
Send y'all donations to our GoFundMe.
She is joking. Charles, number one.
I like that. So
yeah, I demand that in a relationship. Well, I demand is not the right word, but I look for that in a relationship. No, all of my friends who have been around for years and years, loyalty is what it is. So
I
yes,
just make sure everything I do comes from a place of love. Okay, I like that, YouTube user.
And if I can't do it with love, then I don't do it. Amen. Amen.
That's Jules.
Yes, it is.
Fine.
Because what good is it if it doesn't come from a place of love? It ain't no thing doing it.
YouTube user, find friend on Instagram, DM her, and introduce yourself so that we can give you a shout out the next time that we come on live.
Yeah, well, we'll be back on Friday, so definitely come back.
Yes.
We are going through our list.
So we're gonna so we can't move on, y'all, because this supposed to be our
this is supposed to be our
half
hour, but be encouraged. Well, wait a minute, Charles is coming through.
Okay. Hey, I was that tall chef that gave you my business card. I bought the bundle with the black, but want to connect with you ladies and this flourishing 20. Okay, I'll give you.
Charles, we're going to reach out to you. Definitely.
We're going to give you where you can DM both of us.
Put your information in the comments, and we'll keep it private, but we'll record it. Definitely, that's what we want to do. Run down your list.
So for our morality list of 2023 from the FOB, okay. We got honesty. Well, we're gonna because I actually would agree with him too. We got loyalty as number one.
Loyalty is number one.
We got honesty, integrity, principles. We got responsibility and respect, and I think y'all need to kind of research, define, and internalize that separately. We got standards, so we're setting standards for ourselves. And as an honorable mention, and last but definitely not least, to do things that would be acceptable in the eyes of the Creator.
Hallelujah.
YouTube user put that really good. That was a really great way to say that, because it's a lot of believers. And for me, my biggest thing is to go ahead and believe and let that be seen.
Yes.
I'm not a big theologian. Is that the word for it? I don't know all the Bible thingies, but I do remember something. I don't know what passage it is, but something about the children of God should kind of look like Him. So when people see you, they should see in you
Christ behavior.
Yes,
Christ behavior. Yeah. Well, we are all created in the image of God. That is my belief. But just because you look like Him doesn't mean what you give, what you walk, what you talk is of Him.
Yes.
Right. So your behavior, your principles plays a big role in that. Domo Girl is saying, I'm big on having boundaries with any and everyone, because without it, people will try to take advantage of you and who you
boundaries.
are. Listen,
Okay.
one to them. That's what you do. You two-piece them and get them out of there.
Yes.
And what I would like to know is, when you meet or you are confronted with someone who has crossed your boundaries, what do you do?
Oh, we can talk about that Friday, y'all.
Okay.
We can talk about that Friday.
I would love to know. Domo Girl, let us know. What do you do when someone has crossed your boundaries or crossed the boundaries? What do you do?
Yes, you guys did great. We're adding boundaries into that list, okay?
And we're running a little over, but we have one more topic, right?
Yeah.
So
Unless you want to talk about it next time.
Oh, no, we can jump in it.
Okay.
We don't want no leftovers tonight. We want to come back with a fresh meal, fresh menu.
All right.
So our final topic is
the stock market mystery. And guys, I ain't no
financial advisor.
Yeah. So if y'all know something, let us know so that we can research it. We can bring back these tips as a resource. That is a goal of ours, to be a resource for you guys, with what we sell, what we're talking about, information that we have. So the thing that I noticed, or that I even trying to deal in the stock markets, it just seems like you need that middleman. So the question for me is, most of the time when you're looking at something like the stock market, you kind of want to inch into that, but it does not feel like an inching into it place.
Well, I think it's just a matter of having the right resources, taking your time and thoroughly looking things over before you dive into them. If the stock market was meant for everybody, everybody would be doing well and everybody would be in it. I think one of the most important things to do as you go through life and start handling your finances is to make sure that you are aware of your investments. Make sure that you know what your financial institutions are investing in, because anybody who has money in the bank, your money is being invested. Regardless if you know it or not, your money is being invested. So are you supporting an anti-Semitic cause? Are you supporting someone who is racist? I think somebody just came to us at the mall and told us that Celestial Teas were just identified as having made some racist statements or something like that.
Oh,
have you guys heard that? Anything about Celestial Teas? I think it is, and was a big surprise to me. But people said, hey, because a lot of these industries hide. They hide behind a facade of who they really are.
And the people in them too.
Because if you really knew what they were about, would you be investing in those stock options? So it really starts with what the stock is about before you even get your money ready to funnel into them. Who are these people? What are their beliefs? What are their standards? What are their morals? What morals do they live by before you give them your hard-earned money?
That's for sure. So I found a lot of the information to me all kind of gave roundabout, but they seem to be saying the same thing. And so those same things kind of went along. Open stock broker account. So basically what I felt from that just in itself is get you a professional and get yourself around somebody that can kind of, lead you in the right direction.
Well, and somebody that you can trust. We were talking about morals. Integrity goes a long way, and we know that it's not always there
In the stock market.
In the stock market when you're dealing with your finances.
And I think that's the biggest scare to an everyday person. Is like when they have a high, it's such a high, but when they have a low, it's like, oh gosh, they're jumping out the window.
I think that this is a perfect example of you shouldn't reinvent the wheel. There are stock groups, there are stock not only firms, but there are groups where a group of people, either neighbors, friends, just like you have a book club, they have stock clubs. And you get together and you invest in similar stocks that are trusted, that are tried and proven to not only produce, but they have integrity behind them. You know what the stock is about. Yeah. I encourage everybody to, get on Facebook and find out, some stock groups where there's some integrity as it relates to investing in your finances.
They also had read books and articles. So knowledge is always going to be key. Yeah. It's easy to search it on the internet, but I do think there is still something to be said about books, y'all. So read books, read articles. You can listen now to, the money talk type of radio. So there's a lot of BBC and different channels where you can go hear about, listen to how the people who are in it, how they talk. And the thing that I find just even listening to how they talk is that's even different, than a person that doesn't have the knowledge of the stock market. So yeah.
Well, I will say that America has notoriously been built on mortgage industries, mortgage securities rather. So real estate investments, real estate options are always sound, always proven, because that's what a lot of the stocks are backed by as real estate. So that's always a good one.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. We're rolling this down. They had find a mentor, and they had read and casually follow the stock market. And so I would just reiterate that little part right there. Read and casually follow it. It's kind of like just kind of feeling for it, kind of slowly getting your place so that you can understand it fully. If you, like I said, you start to listen to how money-minded people talk, you find it's just a difference. It's a difference. So yeah. Whoop whoop, we pushed through, guys.
It's been an awesome night. I want to give a shout out to Charles. I want to get a shout out to Domo Girl.
Yes.
And the other YouTube listener. We don't know your name, but thank you for chiming in tonight and making this a great conversation. We encourage you all to come back next Friday, same bat channel, same bat time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, for being organic, a feel-good podcast where we encourage everyone to speak their minds.
Say it to me.
Let us know what you think. No holds barred. And we hope that you guys have a very prosperous New Year.
Yes.
Very good weekend. Well, hey, we didn't even talk about the temperature.
Oh, yes, it is feeling good out there. Yes. Feeling good in the hood or your neighborhood.
Maybe it's been warm. It's been warm. I think we hit 63 today. And I mean, hello, January 1st, 63. That's a blessing.
I didn't even need a coat, but I put one on because I'm from the old school where it's like, this is not the season to just not wear your coat.
So. Yeah, she's from the old school where they don't wear coats. I'm from the school where we wear coats and we button up. How about that? So we don't get sick.
Yes.
But we love the comments. We thank you so much for
y'all got us real hype.
Talking fast like Baltimoreans do. But we love the comments. We thank you for chiming in, and we really hope that you come back next for the next show, which is Friday.
This Friday,
7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
Any closing words, my dear?
You already know. Play my music.
Have a good night, guys. Have a good night.